So I joined the lifeboat crew in 1984 and I served for 20 years. So I was the first girl on an offshore lifeboat. My dad, Willie Lennon, was coxswain. He also had his passenger boat, and that's the boat that I remember growing up as a child, and it was called, for me, it was called the Miss Ruth. So my dad couldn't swim, and we were always about the harbour and boats, and Dad was always worried in case either of us fell in. And so we learnt to swim very young. So my brother and I were constantly down the harbour, going to the Copeland Islands. Quite often when we got older, Dad would have made us do the touting for business at the end of the harbour and crew for him as well. I suppose at that time there were no women, so it was quite a thing at the time. My dad, he was all for it. He was very keen on the idea, and I had a nursing background at that time, and he thought that might be useful. You know, when I did go out as a crew member and that, very quickly became part of the team and was accepted. And we always had, you know, we had good fun as well. I have an uncle, Walker Simpson, who was the mechanic on board. And my husband and brother-in-law, both coxswain, and my husband was mechanic. And I also have a cousin who was a crew on board the boat. My maternal grandfather was John Trimble. At the time of the Princess Victoria, he was on the boat, I believe, as bowman. So there's quite a family connection there. Times when you're out in bad weather, and especially when our children were small, it was worrying times for the family if my husband and I were both out at the same time. You always had that concern in the back of your head that you were out in bad weather. You know, my dad being in charge, he did not make a difference at all. If he told me to do something, whether I was afraid or not, I had to do it. So, you know, he just treated me like the rest.